Look, say hi. You gotta say hi. Say hi. Hi. So my breastfeeding journey, it wasn't the easiest. So that's like the one thing I knew I wanted to do when I was pregnant the entire time. So I'm actually going to throw in one of the questions that you guys asked right now, only because it kind of goes with my story. I know a lot of people ask about her latching, and you know, if it happened right away, if it hurt, and it actually did not happen right away. Whenever I was in the hospital, they were trying to tell me that Ryan was tongue-tied, and we actually had to stay in the hospital an additional day, and this literally drove my husband and I crazy. We were so ready to leave, and we got our stuff together and was ready to go, and the doctors came in and told us that Ryan's blood sugar was actually low, and they were trying to say that it was something wrong with her heart. So basically I was discharged, but Ryann was not, so we stayed another night because they said, you know, until her blood sugar goes up, she can't leave, and they were trying to say that her blood sugar was low because she wasn't getting enough milk. So I actually had to supplement, like, as soon as she was born. We had to stick like this really little tube into her mouth on the side of my boob so that she can get my breast milk and a little formula at the same time. So, you know, for those who asked that question, it was not easy. It was actually very, very frustrating to begin with. But like I said, breastfeeding is something I really wanted to do. So aside from that, I stuck with it into motherhood in general. So it's been, you know, it's been interesting. I honestly love it. I feel like it came super natural. I feel like as a mom, like this is my job. Like God placed me here to be a mom. I absolutely love it. Sometimes, you know, it's very rough. In the beginning, it was super rough. Like I was so exhausted, especially because I was breastfeeding. Literally in the beginning, it hurt so bad every time she was ready to eat, and that's when she used to eat a lot more. I used to like almost cry. Like I was so like not ready to breastfeed. It was tough. And then obviously, you know, as a new mom, just adjusting to your time, your space is no longer your space. As a mom who was breastfeeding, I felt like I was the only one doing, you know, I was doing a lot. My husband couldn't, and then I had to realize and tell myself, like, it's not his fault that you feel this way. You decided to breastfeed, you know, you guys decided to breastfeed. This is something that you want to stick with, so you pretty much just have to do it. It'll get better. All right, so we are back, and I have my husband here with me. He is actually, he's actually going to ask me, hold on a second. Ryan, you're doing a lot, Missy.
How soon did she latch? Did it happen immediately, or how did you get her to do it?
Didn't latch right away. They were trying to say that she was tongue-tied. I had to supplement in the hospital. Eventually, when we got home, it got a lot better. As I said before, it was like a bit frustrating. Honestly, the soreness, I did use this all-natural nipple cream, but it just took time.
What's the most challenging thing you've dealt with within the first year?
Not being able to, not being able to work, but just not working in general, as well as just adjusting to there is, you know, another person in my life who I have to basically do everything for. I can't just up and go and be on the go as much as I was. So I guess that, like, just overall adjusting my life and trying to find a balance in being a wife, being a mom, getting my own time, and just doing what I wanted to do for myself.
What are your must-haves for pumping at work and on the go, and has it been difficult to keep it up since you're working?
Oh, that's also a good question. So my must-have right now is a pumping bag. It's like super big. I can literally fit everything in there, my pump, my bottles, as well as a bag that it's like a cold gold bag, and it has a ice pack in it so that when I'm traveling, my commute to work can be anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour there and back. So I have that so that I can transport my milk back and forth and keep it cold. The hardest part, it hasn't been difficult because Ryan has been when I'm at work, my boobs fill up, and it's like I have to pump because Ryan is not there. So it's been difficult in the sense where it's like I have to leave, you know, leave work and go into the nursing room, like leave my desk, pump, and it takes time out of my work. Y'all are so annoying, and it takes time out of my job, but not necessarily difficult. It's kind of like you know that you have to do it, so whatever.
How did you keep your supply up for so long, and how can I get my supply back up?
So everybody is different. For me, honestly, it wasn't like I kept it up for so long. I can definitely tell the difference in it decreasing. When we went to my annual French trip in April, I literally thought my breastfeeding journey was over. We had to try different formulas with Ryan. None of them seemed to really work, which is what motivated me to continue to try to get my milk up. At that time, whenever we got back, I was literally pumping like an ounce or no more than like 2 ounces from my boobs. What I started doing was one of my friends suggested eating oatmeal, so I was eating a lot of oatmeal. I was making lactation smoothies, which is on my website, using oats and brewer's yeast. I used overnight oats. I used mother's milk, drinking a lot of water. They tell you a bunch of different things. Honestly, it all depends on what works for you. I did so much, I honestly can't say exactly what worked for me. I just was doing everything just to get it back up.
So how do you stay organized and create a balance between marriage, raising a child, and having your own life?
Organized? I don't know if I stay organized. Do I stay organized?
Sometimes.
Okay, so I'm answering the how do I stay organized question. So basically, I know that with that question they asked about traveling and cooking and different things like that. So I'm assuming it's overall creating a balance with everything in life. So as far as traveling specifically, I pretty much make a list of the things that I have to get, that I have to remember in my notes. I shop and get those things. And go over that list a million times before leaving. But creating a wife, mom, self-life is something that I'm still working on. I try to, when Yoel is asleep and Ryan's asleep, sometimes I stay up a little later to get things done that I need to get done. On the weekends, if I want to go do something real quick, I'll try to have Yoel stay with me. I'm not sure when I would have that mastered, if ever. But I definitely want to get some more me time. I don't feel like
Were you breastfed yourself, and if not, what made you want to do it?
No, I wasn't breastfed, and like I think I mentioned earlier too, the reason why I wanted to breastfeed was because it goes back to the relationship that I didn't have with, you know, my parents and my mom especially. Before I got pregnant, a lot of people said that, you know, how much it allows you to bond with the baby, and I was literally trying to do all that I can to create the relationship with Ryan. Ryan, what is happening? I wanted to create the best relationship with Ryan, and honestly, it's one of the best decisions that I guess I'll go into if you're a new mom, if you're expecting, if you're trying to decide if you want to breastfeed. It gets hard, it gets rough. If it's something that you really want to do, you kind of have to stick to it. It gets better. It's not painful, it's not horrible the whole time. It definitely gets better. So happy Black Breastfeeding. If you guys have any questions, anything that you want to know more about, if you feel like I wasn't specific enough about the question that you asked me, feel free to reach out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely be on the lookout for more of Ryan's corner. Say bye-bye, or you too busy? Say bye-bye. Just show me again. Bye-bye.